Davidson Celestine responds to critics over loss of THA elections. CAFA says Pfizer vaccines for 5 to 11-year-olds not yet approved, while Health Minister says government is still in talks to purchase the vaccines. Calypsonians' hope dashed over cancellation of events. And in sport, 3 Tobago footballers selected for Thursday's CONCACAF qualifier. Good evening, I'm Patricia Nicholson-Richards. This is the Tobago Updates News for Wednesday, 16th February 2022. To our top story. It is normal to face blame after a defeat in elections, says political leader of the Tobago Council of the PNM, Tracy Davidson Celestine. Since the PNM's 4-1 loss to the PDP in last December's THA elections, Davidson Celestine has been quiet and out of the limelight. However, she appeared on Tobago Update's Youth Morning Show this morning and addressed statements made about her leadership and the reasons for the party's defeat. Here's more.
Critics have not been kind to the political leader of the Tobago Council of the PNM, Tracy Davidson Celestine, after the party's defeat at the recently held THA elections. When an article written by geopolitical analyst Shane Mohammed blamed Davidson Celestine for the defeat, she felt the need to speak out and defend her name. In the process, it appeared as though she blamed former Chief Secretary Ansel Dennis. However, she says the statements pointed to problems when the political leader of the party and the Chief Secretary were different persons.
Two different positions held by two different persons, me as the political leader and then someone else holding the position of Chief Secretary. And if those two positions don't come together and function in the kind of way that you want it to, there will of course be challenges. And that is what I attempted to point out in that article. I was not speaking about Ansel Dennis in any derogatory way.
In an article, Davidson Celestine stated Dennis had the ability to use public funds to win the support of Tobagonians.
I don't know that any government would have monies and leave it there in the coffers when there are demands, of course, by the people to have things done.
Meanwhile, Davidson Celestine says the PNM's defeat was due to the PDP's message win in favor with voters.
So people were looking at what the PNM did over the last 20 or so years, or even over the last 4 years, or even over the last 2 years. While with the PDP, they were paying close attention to what their plans are. And so the things like ex gratia payment, the whole issue of incumbency, the length of time with the PNM, those were the factors.
Despite knowing that persons will cast blame where they deem fit, she is not prepared to shoulder all the blame for the loss.
You cannot blame me for everything that has happened in the PNM without looking holistically at what the challenges are. I don't focus solely on signs and symptoms, I focus on the root cause. And so we have to look at what the root cause is.
Davidson Celestine believes she served well during her time in leadership and governance, but will be stepping down. The Tobago Council of the PNM will hold internal elections on April 24th. Davidson Celestine will not be contesting any position. For Tobago Updates, I am Candace Jackson.
In response to statements from PNM Tobago Council leader Tracy Davidson Celestine, former Chief Secretary Ansel Dennis says he does not have much to say. Dennis was unable to do an on-camera response, but he sent a voice note instead.
I am not interested in any back and forth or blame laying with anybody. What I'm interested in is the rebuilding of this distinguished organization here in Tobago.
Dennis says he is only concerned about rebuilding the party.
Tobago Council of the People's National Movement to bring the kind of sober, people-centered and future-driven leadership that is required for this very difficult rebuilding process over the next couple of years.
According to Dennis, that rebuilding process will come from an assessment within the party.
Its assessment of the last Tobago House of Assembly election, and that will of course include hearing from the members of the party and the people of Tobago generally, so that we get a clear understanding as to where we are as an organization.
Party Vice Chairman Dian Isaac, who recently resigned his position, previously told Tobago Updates that the party has been doing some introspection and assessment since their loss at the recently held THA elections. The Tobago Council of the PNM will hold their internal elections on April 24th, 2022. The Caribbean Public Health Agency, CARPHA, has cautioned member states against the use of any adult formulation of the Pfizer-BioNTech COVID-19 vaccine for the vaccination of children ages 5 to 11 years. CARPHA said its Caribbean regulatory system had not yet recommended the pediatric formulation for use in the Caribbean for this reason. In a release, Program Manager, CARPHA Caribbean Regulatory System, Dr. Ryan Extavo, said there is an absence of information and testing of the phosphate-buffered saline formulation in children 5 to 11 years. He said also of great concern is the increased possibility of errors in administration with drawing up smaller volumes than 0.3 milliliters, which is the adult dose from the adult formulation. CARPHA's Executive Director, Dr. Joy St. John, added that errors in administration of fractionated doses can make vaccination of children ages 5 to 11 years with adult vaccines a risky practice. He said, quote, "We are awaiting the WHO emergency use listing before we recommend use of the U.S. FDA-approved vaccine developed specifically for children 5 to 11 years of age." Meantime, Health Minister Terence Dialting says the government is still in talks with Pfizer towards acquiring vaccines for children ages 5 to 11. He said he is unaware of the release from CARPHA.
We did come to you with the WHO release some weeks ago, which spoke about, it on a Friday afternoon, that spoke to the WHO approval for 5 to 11. I remember that distinctly. I will have to check the CARPHA website to double check what you are seeing to engage that particular question. But we are in talks with Pfizer for the 5 to 11, which WHO has indicated had received EUL approval.
Minister Dayal Singh was responding to questions from the media at Wednesday's Ministry of Health press conference. Now on to the latest COVID-19 figures. Over the last 24 hours, 33 new cases were reported. Total active cases are now at 339. There are 9 patients in the hospital, but no new deaths have been reported. Total deaths remain at 238. Coming up after the break, Calypsonians share their views on the cancellation of the Calypso Monarch and Extempo competitions.
The Division of Infrastructure, Quarries and Urban Development is inviting all stakeholders to participate in virtual public consultations on the redevelopment of Scarborough this February and March. Join the lead architect and other experts in discussions on Wednesday the 23rd of February and Wednesday the 2nd and 9th of March from 5 to 7 p.m. Register for the Zoom platform via Facebook at spc.tgo or DIQUD-WORKS. Call or WhatsApp 73-WORKS or 739-6757. Stay tuned to our Facebook pages and the media for details on live streaming. These consultations are powered in part by B-Mobile. Life is on.
MI4 Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
Are you looking for that all-in-one shopping experience? Then look no more. Visit Lamb's Best Mart for your grocery items, fruits and vegetables, drinks, home items, stationery, gift items, hampers, shopping gift cards, toiletries, small hardware items, and much more. We provide order and pickup service, even delivery to your door. We are your friendly community supermarket. Check us out today at Lamb's Best Mart, located at 22 Daniel Trace Canby, or visit us on social media at Lamb's Best Mart.
Let's go!
Welcome back. The cancellation of the Calypso Monarch and Extempo Calypso competitions in the Taste of Carnival 2022 event has been met with great disappointment by some Tobago Calypsonians. Here's more.
Calypsonian and songwriter Sherwin Cunningham said the cancellation came at the wrong time after some Calypsonians have expended a lot of financial resources in preparation for the competition.
I mean, it is said to be a taste of carnival. So in my opinion, the competitions should have been a scaled down one, and the reigning monarch be able to defend her crown whenever the real monarch is held.
He expressed concerns for Calypsonian Leslie Ann Ellis, who was preparing to participate in the Calypso Monarch competition. Cunningham said Ellis recently released her competition song Perpetual Web on social media. Now that the competition has been cancelled through no fault of hers, he is hoping that she will be able to perform that song in the same competition come 2023.
I mean, I hope the rule where a song being released before Ash Wednesday of the previous year cannot be used in a competition the following year is suspended. I hope that rule is suspended and Calypsonians be able to reuse their songs come next year carnival. Because this right here, this is a real messed up thing.
Meanwhile, veteran Tobago Calypsonian Caston Cupid said he is very disappointed that the Calypso Monarch competition hasn't come to fruition.
I've spent the last couple of weeks, over a month, preparing myself and readying myself for the competition, to put my best foot forward. But I guess the organization made the best decision for the Calypso and Calypsonians based on what was presented to them. And well, the only thing I can do at this point in time is just wait for the next competition and see what the rest of the year holds.
Cupid said he is looking forward to the Tobago Heritage Festival and other upcoming events.
Really, I look forward to the Tobago Heritage Competition, as hopefully this year they will have the Calypso included, where I could defend my title, and after that the Tobago Carnival that is scheduled to be held later in October. So I just it's disappointing, it's disheartening, but that is just it. That's just the way I had to deal with it.
In a release, Togo said the decision to cancel the events was made at an emergency meeting with its executive following a meeting with the National Carnival competition on Tuesday. Togo's President Ainsley King claimed that the $1.3 million offered by the NCC, which is headed by veteran Calypsonian Winston Gypsy Peters, is insufficient to fund all Togo's activities for the scaled-down Carnival event. Dispelling claims and allegations in the public space, King explained that the Calypso Monarch and Extempo competitions had to be aborted since only $200,000 will remain after the payment of an already allocated funding to Calypso tents to the tune of $1.3 million. This $200,000 is insufficient to host the now cancelled Calypso Monarch and Extempo competitions, inclusive of prize monies. For Tobago Updates, I am Beverly Edwards.
Tobago's hyperbaric chamber in Roxborough achieved success in treating a Bajan scuba diver for Ben's disease 9 weeks after an accident. Here's the story.
One of the risks in scuba diving is developing Ben's disease or depression sickness. This happens when bubbles of gas form in the blood vessels due to changing water pressures while scuba diving. Such was the case for 46-year-old Barbadian diver David Goddard.
I had an accident on December 5th scuba diving and had trouble walking and using my legs directly after that, and gradually started to recover, and after 8 weeks came here for treatment.
The recovery was not fast enough, and he began looking outside Barbados for places that offer hyperbaric treatment and found Tobago.
The treatment here was fantastic. I got in touch with Mr. Ray Hines following a search for hyperbaric chamber treatment in the Caribbean, and found Tobago and came here based on his recommendation, and fantastic treatment.
Manager of the hyperbaric facility at the Roxborough Hospital, Dr. Ray Hines, says the treatment administered to Goddard was groundbreaking.
It is groundbreaking because there's no documented evidence of a patient or patients being treated after 9 weeks of a neurological bend.
The treatment was not a long one either.
He underwent just 3 sessions on a U.S. Navy Table 6, and he got full recovery.
The hyperbaric facility does not only treat persons with Bell's disease, but it also treats patients with diabetes, ulcers, wounds, and amputations. Dr. Hines would like to see the hyperbaric services expand to treat even more patients.
We need a multi-place chamber. Right now I treat 3 people a day, 1 could go in. With the multi-place, I could treat 10 people in 1 treatment. Instead of treating 3 people a day, I could treat 30 people a day.
For Tobago Updates, I am Candace Jackson.
Illegal dumping of building material is occurring on Blackrock Beach with potential harmful effects to the environment, marine life, and the island's tourism product. This is the latest story coming out of a collaboration with Environment Tobago to highlight concerns. Here's more.
Untouched, unspoiled, natural beauty are the words used to market Tobago to the rest of the world. Previously, it was marketed as clean, green, safe and serene. However, some Tobagonians are seeking to undermine that marketing strategy by illegally dumping. On Blackrock Beach, a stone's throw away from the picturesque Port Bennett, someone is dumping building material according to PRO of Environment Tobago, Sean McCoon.
We have a situation where on several occasions property owners or even other people from outside would come and dump refused building material, rubble, rocks, nails.
Because of the unique features of the beach, it is a favorite spot for children and adults looking for a safe sea bath experience.
There are guests that stay in these guest houses and accommodation. They use this beach. Children in particular is something that we should be concerned about. There's splinters, there's nails, there's things like that.
Not only is it spoiling the natural beauty of the beach, the rubber poses a danger to turtles. The turtle nesting season begins on March 1st, and Blackrock Beach is one of many in the area where turtles nest.
So when all of the refuse gets into the water, or even on the coast, and a turtle comes up to lay its eggs and so on, it may mistake it for something to consume, and that's the end of that.
Additionally, McCoon says dumping is a risk to the marine environment.
Material gets into the ocean. It affects the reefs, it affects marine life, fish.
Environment Tobago is monitoring the area, hoping to catch the culprits and report it to the relevant authorities. There is a $4,000 fine with a 6-month imprisonment for guilty individuals and a stronger punishment for guilty corporate entities. Despite this, illegal dumping is increasing around Tobago.
So I think it's a lack of information. I mean, some people may not necessarily understand and appreciate the causes and effects that this sort of thing has, and I think once we push more aggressively to educate people as to the effects of these things, we would have absolutely no problem.
Anyone with information about illegal dumping can contact Environment Tobago at 466-0608. For Tobago Updates, I am Candace Jackson.
The Sport Report with Marcus Daniel is up next. Stay tuned.
I want to meet with you to share my personal testimony and other local testimonies. Call me now, Juliet Roberts, at 341-0715. The number again is 341-0715. God bless you.
Tobago Glass Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supplies specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
Good evening and welcome to this evening's Sportscast. I am Marcus Daniel. Thank you so much for joining us on Sports on this wonderful Wednesday. We begin with some news of cricket. Well, the Chief Secretary's Tobago T10 Blast returns with much promise of exciting action. We have more in this story.
The Tobago Cricket Association announced today that the second staging of the Chief Secretary's Tobago T10 Blast will take place from April 8 to 15, 2022 at the Sid Gray Sporting Complex, Roxborough. The tournament was first held in 2019, but due to the emergence of COVID-19 and the then restrictions on outdoor sports by the government, plans for the second edition were put on hold for the past 2 years. The tournament will once again feature 4 franchises: defending champions Rainforest Rangers, Booker Reef Divers, Fort King George Gunners, and Little Tobago Islanders. The franchises will do battle in 2 rounds of matches before entering the playoffs. The winning team will walk away with $20,000, while the runners-up will pocket $10,000. 2 matches will be played nightly. Players and spectators alike will have to be fully vaccinated in accordance with the return-to-play protocols set by the government. The players' draft is slated to take place on Wednesday, 10th March, and will be streamed live on major social media platforms. Rainforest Rangers, led by former national player Nathan Stewart, won the inaugural staging, defeating Jan Alfred's Booker Reef Divers by 4 wickets in the final. Young player Jaden Kent hit a boundary of the final delivery to win the match.
They are disappointed that they have lost in this fight.
So good to see cricket action returning in Tobago there in Sid Gray Sporting Complex. Get a vaccine and participate. Jumping in news of football, well, 3 Tobago players have been named in a 22-man Trinidad and Tobago senior women's football team squad for tomorrow's CONCACAF World Championship qualifier against Nicaragua at the Hazy Crawford Stadium. Much more in this story.
The players selected are goalkeeper Kimika Forbes and midfielders Asher James and Karine Forbes. Addressing the media just before today's final practice session at the Mani Ramjan Stadium, the vastly experienced Kimika said the players are excited and raring to go.
I'm pretty excited to be here. Environment in the camp is really positive. We are building our camaraderie, and it's just an exciting young group, a young core. They're willing to ready to step up to do what it takes for when their number is called in camp. So it's just an overall great mood inside camp.
The qualifiers serve as a qualifying competition for the 2023 FIFA Women's World Cup and the Paris 2024 Olympic Games. According to Kamika, it's very important that they start their campaign with 3 points.
Really important for us, so we start our campaign right and start our journey right. That 3 point is most important, and that is what we are looking forward to on Thursday, and our main goal is getting the 3 points however it comes.
Tomorrow's game kicks off at 3 p.m. Guyana, Dominica and Turks and Caicos also join TNT in Group F. TNT will likely host their 2 toughest opponents, Nicaragua and Guyana, at home, with the other 2 matches being played on the road. Only the winners of 6 preliminary CONCACAF groups will advance to meet seeded World Cup champions USA and Olympic champions Canada in the 8-team 2022 CONCACAF Championship to be held from July 4th to 20th in Mexico.
Yeah, so good luck to the Women Warriors in that game tomorrow against Nicaragua at the Hazel Crawford Stadium. Of course, for those who can, please attend and be safe. And wrapping up in some good news, Asia Joseph of Bonacore, Tobago has been awarded the position of teaching assistant at the Florida International University for the next 4 years. As a teaching assistant, Joseph may be required to teach, conduct research and fulfill responsibilities that contribute to FIU's Department of Teaching and Learning. She is also currently working with the FIU Women's Tennis Program as a strength and conditioning coach. Joseph, a former UTT Patriots volleyball student, athlete and captain, began her academic journey in 2011 by attaining a certificate in sports studies at the tertiary institution. 3 years later, she graduated with a bachelor's degree in sports studies, specializing in both exercise science and sport management. Joseph was selected as the strength and conditioning coach of the St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots team for the 2011 Caribbean Premier League T20 cricket tournament. She holds a Master's of Science in Strength and Conditioning Studies from Arkansas Tech University. Joseph said her long-term goal is to establish a facility in TNT which specifically caters for high-performance elite training. She would also like to have a wide range of coaching studies offered locally and has plans to speak to some of her US-based coaching associates to bring this idea into reality. With the majority of TNT's pro athletes having to fly out to attain elite training, Joseph believes TNT is in much need of such a facility, specifically designed to groom homegrown athletes. Yeah, good luck there, and of course, congratulations to Asia. That's all we have for you in sports today. Thank you so much for joining us. Remember, continue staying safe out there. I hand you back to Patricia with more news.
MI4 Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
Coconut's Cafe, the buffet restaurant that specializes in all your tasty local dishes. For breakfast and for lunch. Breakfast includes coconut bake and sada roti, served with chokers, bull joil, and sausages in tomato sauce. Not forgetting beef and cheese pies, shepherd's pie, macaroni pie, and rice in various styles. Meat served in a variety of flavors, garden salads, and pasta salads. All this accompanied by fruit juices, coconut water, your choice of a great combination to appease your taste buds. So call us today to order, as we are here to accommodate your busy schedules or if you are having a cooking day off.
The Division of Infrastructure, Quarries and Urban Development is inviting all stakeholders to participate in virtual public consultations on the redevelopment of Scarborough this February and March. Join the lead architect and other experts in discussions on Wednesday the 23rd of February and Wednesday the 2nd and 9th of March from 5 to 7 p.m. Register for the Zoom platform via Facebook at spc.tgo or DIQUD Works. Call or WhatsApp 73-WORKS or 739-6757. Stay tuned to our Facebook pages and the media for details on live streaming. These consultations are powered in part by B-Mobile. Life is on.
I want to meet with you to share my personal testimony and other local testimonies. Call me now, Juliet Roberts, at 341-0715. The number again is 341-0715. God bless you.
Are you looking for that all-in-one shopping experience? Then look no more. Visit Lamb's Best Mart for your grocery items, fruits and vegetables, drinks, home items, stationery, gift items, hampers, shopping gift cards, toiletries, small hardware items, and much more. We provide order and pickup service, even delivery to your door. We are your friendly community supermarket. Check us out today at Lamb's Best Mart, located at 22 Daniel Trace Canby, or visit us on social media at Lamb's Best Mart.
The COVID-19 pandemic has allowed some young entrepreneurs to grow businesses in ways they did not previously consider. We met some of them over the weekend in the Island Market hosted at Apex Restaurant and Bar. Some of them were physically interacting with customers for the first time. Here are the details.
Triska Smart or Smart Days Limited was able to turn a simple hobby into a money-earning business during the pandemic.
When the pandemic hit, it was like really slow, don't have anything to do, so I was like, why not start sewing some headbands and scrunchies?
She diversified into making soaps and body lotions, marketing her products online through social media. This is the first time interacting with customers.
It's been really lovely. It's the first time I've been to a market and I'm extremely happy to be here.
Meanwhile, Maritzia Wood, owner of Ritz Allure, is hoping the Island Market can be a way for her to connect with customers after only launching her business 1 week ago.
I started with candles. I like candles, fragrance scents, and when I started to make my own, I wanted to be unique and individual, so I was researching on how to, and I came up with concrete vessels, and I said I can do that. That's something I can do.
Among the many budding entrepreneurs was Ayana Ned, owner of Ayana's Sunflowers. She has managed to turn growing sunflowers into a business.
I started growing sunflowers in 2020 during the pandemic. I was at home and there wasn't much to do, so I always loved sunflowers, so I decided, okay, let me start growing them, and I shared the journey of me growing them with my friends on Facebook, and everybody was invested. So
many entrepreneurs have struggled throughout the pandemic, but they continue to be resilient and find ways to keep their business alive. For Tobago Updates, I am Candace Jackson.
In some news of the weather, the Met Office has issued a high winds alert, yellow level, which will remain in effect until 2 p.m. tomorrow, Thursday, 17th February. The Met Office says there is a high potential for windy conditions and gusts in the vicinity of 55 kilometers per hour, with higher gusts expected over the alert period. Such wind gusts may be brief but are capable of displacing unsecured roofs and loose outdoor objects. Marine craft can be adversely impacted by these strong winds, and visibility may be extremely low during dusk and dawn. Wind waves occasionally above 2.5 meters are also expected. The Met Office is advising the public to secure loose outdoor objects and livestock. Marine interests should also exercise extreme caution during this period. Monitor sea conditions, exercise caution, follow the instructions of lifeguards, and monitor official news sources and weather updates from www.metoffice.gov.tt. And that story brings us to the end of our Tobago Updates newscast for this evening. I'm Patricia Nicholson Richards. Thank you for tuning in, and do enjoy the rest of your evening.